statement. Keep them up, please.
Solid win over an improved Vanderbilt team. I thought our defense in the first half was pretty good. Thought it completely fell apart in the second half, which is a little bit disappointing for a team that's trying to go after a championship. We got to be a lot better than that in the second half to give up 56 points. You got to give Vandy a lot of credit. They hung in there, kept fighting, got good shots off. Shoot, I mean, Nickel hit all of his threes in the second half. So we got to figure out our defense. It's not where we need it to be offensively. Did enough, didn't shoot free throws as well as we'd have liked either. But huge game for Modi again. Guess there's only been 5 players since I've been here to get 20 points and 10 rebounds in a game. So put himself in pretty elite company in the last 6 years with some pretty good players been here. So I think Mo plays hard all the time. As evidence, he's led the team plus minus the last 2 games, plus 21 against Kentucky, plus 26 tonight in his 23 minutes. So, you kind of know what you're going to get out of Mo. He's going to play hard. He's going to be tough. He's going to be physical. I mean, he was our best matchup on their point guard. So he sits down, he moves. They've got some guys that can score it. Edwards ended up having 21, but Diabate did a pretty good job on him. Some of our other guys are going to have to pick up their defense for this team to be the level we want it to be at. So, we were off tomorrow. We play Saturday, and we come back on Thursday. So the guys are going to have to decide how good they want to be, how much effort they want to give on the defensive end, because the effort we got in the second half is not going to win us any championships this year. But solid win. Some guys played well. We got a lot of scoring off the bench. I think most we've had all year. I thought Holloway was good. Holloway was plus 21 when he's in the game. Now, if you look at all of our bench, to be honest with you, like Diabate plus 26, Holloway plus 21, Youngblood plus 17, Aiden Sherrill plus 12. Those are the only guys that have a double-digit positive plus minus. Our starters didn't get us off to a good start to start the game, and didn't get us off to a very good start to start the second half either. So, we got to get some better leadership to the starting group to get us better starts to both halves moving forward. But really happy for Diabate. Really all 4 of those guys off the bench. Diabate and Holloway played great. I thought Aiden Sherrill gave us really good minutes. Guarded well, got to the offensive boards. Him and Diabate were the only guys that had multiple offensive rebounds. So good effort from those 2, and I thought Holloway played extremely hard and played well as well.
Start on the right here, Charlie.
Yeah, Coach, Mark Sears reaching 2,500 career points. Just what does that say about his consistency on the offensive end?
Yeah, and the offensive end, he's been as consistent a guy as I probably ever coached. He's pretty much every game, no matter what ends up, how it starts, he ends up with 20 somehow. He's did it again tonight. He ends up with 21. So, when you're scoring about 20 every night out, and you get as many games as he's played, I think he's the 82nd player in all Division I history with 2,500 career points. That puts him some pretty good company. So, congrats to Mark. I thought, he picked it up offensively for us there in the second half, put the ball in his hands late. When it got close, I don't even know what they cut it to. They cut it to 8. I thought it was 8. It was 8, right? It was 11. They hit the 3 to go to 8, correct? I thought once they got it cut to 8, I thought Sears from there kind of took over a lot. We put it in his hands, kind of set the high ball screen for him. He got down the hill, made some good reads, had some assists, some buckets. He's a guy you can really trust on the offensive end to make sure we get good points. So
Okay.
that was 8.
Mark said you kind of challenged the team this week in practice with a maturity test, and it was kind of up and down tonight in the game. Kind of how would you assess maybe that they did in that area tonight?
A C, since I'm a teacher. The first, you give it like A- in the first half, and then they failed the second half. So what do you average out a failing grade and an A-, and you come up with a C, I guess. So first semester, second semester, we didn't really get a final exam. It's just, the first quarter, second quarter, whatever you want. But I was disgusted with the second half defense, to be honest with you. But I thought we came out of the game with a way better attitude, playing hard. I think we held them to a .82 in the first half, and then it jumped up to a 1.3 in the second half. So 0.82 against a team like this, pretty good. So the first 20 minutes I thought was great, and then I think it was a 1.3 in the second half, and that's terrible.
Chase.
You just discussed Holloway's shot tonight. It looked like he was on fire. I think he didn't miss a shot the whole first half. Where is his confidence with his shot right now?
Pretty high. I think if you look at like SEC, go to the website, up until last game, he was number 1 in the conference in field goal percentage. I think there's a minimum he had to make at least 5 field goals made per game. So I hope this gets him back up over that. I don't know if this puts him back at number 1 again. But, I mean, he's shooting the ball extremely well. He's hitting that floater in the lane. He's making his threes. It's extremely hard for a guard to lead this good in field goal percentage. So kind of shows you his skill level, what he's capable of. Like I never want him to pass up an open 3. I really don't even care how deep it is. I mean, it could be 26, 28 feet. I think it's going in every time. Those floaters he shoots in the lane, he's been really good with those. He's got a pretty good finishing package at the rim. So his confidence is high, but I think part of it is he plays hard. I mean, when you go to I think his effort on defense has been really good. I mean, you saw him strip the big. He got switched on to, who was it, Carey, I believe, the one play when he kind of stripped him there in the middle of the paint. I mean, at the half, I mean, he was leading our guards. I mean, he was at 6 blue-collar points. Grant had 10. He's leading all the guards for the game. I think he ended up having 11, which is pretty good. I mean, Modi won it with 17, and Holloway, it's a little harder for guards to get him sometimes at 11. It's in double digits. We only had 3 guys. I think 1, 2, 4. 4 guys. Him, Grant, Aiden Sherrill, and Modi in double digits for blue collar. So he's playing really hard. I think when you play really hard and give an effort like that, and you get the skill that you put it, you put a lot of time into your skill level. I think things go your way. I think things are going his way right now, and I'm super happy for him.
Yeah, more on Aiden. I mean, since he joined you guys this offseason and over these last 8 games when he's gone over 10 points 7 times, what would you say has changed most with his game? Is it a confidence thing? Is it something in his mechanics? What would you say that difference has been?
Yeah, I definitely don't think it's anything his mechanics. I mean, when he came here, he was shooting as well as anybody I've seen. I mean, if you watch him and Sears, the 2 of them always come in and shoot together. Preston's in here with them. Like, it's a real shooting contest. I mean, they go back and forth. Sears shoots it as well as Holloway. Some days Sears is better than him. But, it seems like teams are a little more loaded up on Sears. Holloway's kind of like a second option when he's in there, so he's been able to get a little more free. But the mechanics have been great all the time. I do think you need to get his confidence up. You need to get comfortable in our system. How aggressive do I want him to be? I mean, I can't get him aggressive enough, to be honest with you. Like, what kind of threes do I want him to take? I want him to take every single one that's open. I just think he had to realize, I think that game where he had 19 threes, and so was that South Dakota State maybe? And I told him he really should have taken 22 because he passed up 3 I wish he would have taken. He's like, I think his reply to me was say no more. So from then, get him up, as many as you can get up, because he's not missing many.
Hey, Kevin. You're right.
Yeah, Mo Diabate said that you've been giving him a little more leeway to go score rather than just being a connector. What's behind that, or what kind of has inspired that message to him?
I mean, to me, he's always had it. It's just he needed to learn how to do it with the correct spacing when the opportunities are there, because you can't put your head down and just drive into crowds and expect anything good to happen. But we came in maybe 3 weeks ago. He was killing everybody in practice one day. I don't know how long ago. It was probably about 3 weeks ago. And he was, nobody could guard him. I mean, maybe Youngblood was the best option. He was too quick for our bigs, way too strong for the guards. Youngblood's strong, but even he struggled a little bit. So I came in the next day with about 6 new plays for him. So if you're gonna play like this, we're gonna have a whole, and Bowman, him and Ryan together on the offense. Bowman's more keeps the plays together, keeps them organized, gives him play sheets, and on the play sheet also the next day, like it's in here. It's called the he named it himself the off-road package. So like Mod's got the off-road package. I mean, it's kind of like smash mouth, not typically the way we play, but it's there, and we got it in. And I mean, honestly, we didn't really call a whole lot for him other than, you know, we got the one play in transition where I just said, like, he had a mismatch on him, just give it to him, like, just go beast mode, go score the ball, which he did. So, I mean, he's got opportunities because people are so concerned with our guards, you know, particularly right now with Sears and Holloway, that they're, you know, his guys jumping out to help hedge a screen and whatever, and he can just keep the ball. And he's 8 for 9 tonight. I mean, the one he missed, they're late. Literally, he could have easily been 9 for 9. I mean, he typically makes the shot he missed tonight. So he's making his free throws at a better clip. He's in the gym working hard. That's not that he was ever not aggressive because he couldn't make a free throw as well. He's always aggressive, but I think it helps when you go to the line and make free throws. You want to get fouled because you're going to the line, getting 3 points at the line. So, you know, the more he comes along offensively, we've known he's been great rebounding defensive-wise, the better off we're going to be.
Jack.
Yeah, Coach, you talk about Vanderbilt's ability to capitalize off of turnovers. I think they only had 8 points off them. You guys only had 11. You've been decent at that the last 2 games. Just what have you seen improvement-wise from the guys after those 21 against Ole Miss?
Yeah, I mean, we weren't, honestly, the 21 turnovers came because we weren't aggressive enough in attacking Ole Miss's coverages. Our guards were super passive, coming off ball screens, put no pressure on the defense in any of our pick and rolls. You know, our guards are coming downhill, putting pressure on them. When you put pressure on them, defense collapse, or you get open shots. If they collapse, the kickouts are wide open. Ole Miss game, we put no pressure on them. They built out. They got steals on the build outs because we didn't put any pressure. Just, to me, like, with some intelligence, with a high IQ, we want you playing as aggressive as you can possibly play, and that's when we're playing our best basketball. Even tonight, I didn't think we put enough pressure on the pick and roll. Like, when we finally started to in the second half, Cliff goes 7 more drags in transition. Guards come off trying to score. We got Cliff on some lobs. We get some, you know, slip outs with Mo Diabate and some of that stuff. Like, I think we've gotten our guards, and again, this is a lot of credit to Coach Pannone and Coach Bowman on the offensive side, but get more aggressive, put pressure on the defense, put pressure on the switch when they're switching. More aggressive, better spacing, keep them spaced out, so the help's got to come from further. Ball moves, I mean, there's some really good ball movement clips tonight, and make the rotations come from a long ways away, and I think it helps with the turnovers. And shoot, I think we had 3 charges called. I think 3 of those turnovers were that easily could have been blocks, and all of a sudden, instead of 11 turnovers, we only have 8. So I thought live ball turnovers, we didn't have many. And the one I remember for sure, when Diabate turned it over there in the first half, Holloway came back and covered for him. Thought he did an unbelievable job. So, you know, trying not to let them score points off. Turnovers, yeah, they had 8, we had 17. So we doubled them up in points off turnovers, and that's what they do best. They're leading the country coming in. So stuff we've been focused on, particularly on the offensive end, we've done a pretty good job of.
2 more, Ariel.
Sticking with Cliff, what do you think it's going to be for him to be able to reach his ceiling, and what were the conversations that you were having with him in the second half on the sidelines?
Well, one, I wanted to make sure he was good because when he got that foul call on him, when Hogarth drove, Hogarth kind of got him with an elbow right in his rib, so he's having a hard time breathing, which makes you a little worried when you're having a, you know. So we got him out. Doctor checked him out. Clark, our trainer, and then, you know, I want to make sure he was good still. Like, let's make sure you're healthy. So, other than that, like, we got to get him to the old boards more. I mean, you know, he only had 1 offensive rebound. Like, we've been on him to rebound. You know, Diabate in a few more minutes tonight, he ended up playing more because he was playing well, but ends up with 10 rebounds. Cliff only had 3. Like, we're trying to get him to. Now, and he went the one time, pushed guy 2 hands in his back. We got to do it without fouling. So, but we also wanted him to get into ball screens quicker in transition, get out with the way they were covering it. I thought we could have got him a lot more lobs if he was a little bit more aggressive to get into the ball screens and sprint out of them. So defensively, I thought he was pretty good. We need him to rebound more. We need him to play with more pace, more pressure on the rim as a roller and pick and rolls. That's the big areas we're trying to get him to improve on.
Last one, Ryan.
Coach, back to Mark, just 2,500 points. This career that he's had at Alabama, how has it been for you to build this program with him? And what does he mean maybe 5 years down the road, what Mark's done here in Alabama?
Listen, for a kid that's from the state of Alabama, that no I majors wanted him coming out of high school, ends up going to a good mid-major program at Ohio U. If you go back and actually look, I don't know, you guys all cover Alabama. I think there was games at the beginning of his career at Ohio where he didn't play or played very few minutes, but I'm pretty sure if you go back and look, he didn't play his freshman year. So to have that and then to end up where he's currently at as a National Player of the Year candidate tells you everything you need to know about his work ethic. He didn't shoot it particularly well his freshman year at Ohio, even though once he got in the rotation, he played pretty well, but he didn't shoot it well. So between his freshman and sophomore year, he essentially locked himself in the gym, turned himself into a shooter. He's now one of the best shooters in the country, and that's through all hard work. So, I'm gonna be talking about him for years down the road about what guys are capable of if they're willing to work hard, put the time in, and really do what you need to do. I mean, it takes a lot of work to be this good. So, you come in, he's going to be in tomorrow, it's an off day tomorrow, I guarantee you he's going to be in getting a shooting workout in. Every day he's in here, wants to go before practice, wants to go back in the afternoon. Sometimes he comes back even again in the evening. Like, for him to score 2,500 points, being from here, nobody wanted him out of high school, doing what he did for his first 2 years at Ohio, and then coming back here and then having a career, even his first year here. We were #1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament. He was our second leading scorer. I don't know if anybody expected him to be that good right out of the gate. Brandon Miller, second overall pick in the draft, been killing it in the NBA these last 2 years, was the leading scorer. Mark was our second leading scorer that year. So he came in immediately able to score. He's really progressed as a point guard. These games where, I'm not sure what he ended up with assists tonight. Yeah, he had 7 assists, 0 turnovers tonight. So he's had multiple games where he's had really high assist numbers, very low turnover numbers. His growth as a point guard, making the right reads, taking care of the ball, that's where he's grown the most this year. And I thought his effort on defense for the most part this year has been significantly better. I think we need him to lead. Thought he could have been better in the second half today, but if we're talking about his 2,500 points, his offensive game, he's grown a lot. And I couldn't be happier for a kid, especially from the state of Alabama here at his home state school at Alabama. So congrats to Mark. I'm super happy for a kid that works that hard. I can roll with a kid with his work ethic the rest of my career. Hopefully we keep finding guys like that.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, everyone.